And I would like to play a little tune I just composed not too long ago.
Miss Billie Holiday.
1, 2, 3,
Let me take you to
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise.
In 1977, as the band started writing songs for their next album, they were primed by their label for even bigger success. With one catch.
Going into the making of Rumours, all of us, like a convergence, Stevie and Lindsay, John and Chris, and me and Jenny, my then wife, all 5 band members were going into, an emotional hiccup, to say the least.
When we joined Fleetwood Mac, everything was really rocky between me and Lindsay.
We had just our own sense of displacement.
I think we kind of all made like a little silent vow. Let's fix these relationships for right now, because we cannot break up. We just can't. If we do, there will be no Fleetwood Mac.
That's Rumours. That's the canopy that led us into the making of that album.
If you wake up and don't smile.
And within that framework was this incredible, crosstalk of laser beams of emotion going from one personality to the other. Don't Stop, is certainly Chris saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, to John.
You go back and you read them and you go, oh, okay.
All I want is to see you smile. If the day's just a little while. Oh, you don't believe that it's true. Never meant any harm to you.
Somebody's playing a song and everybody in the room's going, that's about me, right? And of course it's about you, But what you have to do is, you have to let that go. Because if you don't let that go, you can never play any songs for anybody. My songs were all about Lindsay, and Lindsay's songs were all about me, and you just had to, blow it off and play the song.
It was kind of an exercise in denial, it really was. That was the only way we could get through it. You had to put your feelings over here and get on with what needed to be done in the rest of the room.
I don't think we were really aware of it at the time until it was more or less completed, and then John, I think, made some reference to it sounding like a bunch of rumours, and I think that's how we ended up calling the album that. And the end result was just very moving when you listen to it back to back. Everything strung together as it was, like something of a diary.
Well, John McVie liked to drink, and I think he always had done, and I think he was kind of part of that whole tradition of English rock and rollers from the 60s, from John Mayall's era, who just liked to go out and get slaughtered, basically. And, living in LA, he was still a member of John Mayall's Brain Damage Club.
I'm a legend in my own mind. I was over the top. Way over the top, beyond the pale, as it were. And she couldn't handle it anymore. And it happened when we were doing something down in Florida that I got the word. Basically, we weren't a unit anymore, and she'd rather be with our lighting director than me.
If the album gave Christine a chance to say to John, don't stop thinking about tomorrow, it also gave her a chance to tell her lighting director that he made loving fun. But Lindsay and Stevie weren't exactly singing along.
And they were
both sitting on stools next to each other and singing into two microphones. We had to stop the tape or something, and suddenly they were screaming at each other, damn you, go to hell. And I quite honestly was embarrassed. I didn't know what to do, and so I rewound the tape as fast as I could. The moment I hit play, they were back into singing You Make Loving Fun again, which I thought was very ironic.
Rumours was recorded at the record plant in San Francisco, and one afternoon, Stevie found a hidden corner of the studio to privately gather her thoughts on her failing relationship with Lindsay.
I was just hanging out in the rest of the record plant, and Sly Stone had a studio there, and the people that owned the studio let me in there, and I went in there with my Fender Rhodes, and I spent the afternoon in there, and I wrote Dreams. And they really liked it, and so we recorded it the next day, and this was before the final blow-up of me and Lindsay. But we were close, but we hadn't had that final blow-up yet. Now there you go again, you say you want your freedom, who am I to keep you down? I really was the one that wanted my freedom at that point, because I just wasn't happy in the relationship anymore. The relationship, in my opinion, had become too dark and too obsessive and too heavy. I just was looking for some spring air. I was just looking to breathe again.
I think the thing about Stevie Nicks is her style of writing is much more pastoral, whimsical, West Coast hippie, really, and Lindsey Buckingham's style is a much tougher, almost punkier sound, actually.
Lindsay, of course, had a riposte to Stevie's take on their relationship, complete with a dramatic opening and a rollicking backbeat.
I had this idea. It was actually taken from Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones, where Charlie Watts was going, and Mick didn't want to. He couldn't quite get that. He did his own thing, which was he did a 4/4, and he went.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel?
Go Your Own Way. It's a bitter, sweet testimony from a partner to another partner.
Well, I always looked at Go Your Own Way as Lindsay's Dreams.
Won't take it from me.
My Dreams was my kind of airy-fairy spirituality, saying when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. In other words, we're all going to come out of this. And Lindsay, you and I will come out of this, and we'll be friends, and it'll be okay. And Lindsay's Dreams, which was Go Your Own Way, was angry and nasty. And in my opinion, extremely disrespectful to say shacking up. Shacking up's all you won't do. And me, ladylike, prudish Stevie, which I am, was very offended by him saying shacking up is all you want to do, because I was not in any kind of a shacking up mood. I was not shacking up with anybody.
It may be a rather, truthful and blunt observation, but that's the way he writes songs.
When I was hired to do the job, I I didn't understand. Lindsay always refused to sing his lyrics, and I found out later that the reason why he wasn't singing the lyrics because he knew it would make Stevie mad.
Lindsay and I broke up like on the last day. And we had a big fight. I don't remember what the fight was about, but we were getting ready to go home. And I basically said to him, well, I'll pack up the car and you drive it and I'm flying home and you drive. And we were done. Done.
Dreams gave the band their first #1 single in America, as Rumours hit the ground running, selling 200,000 copies a day. Adult-oriented rock had truly arrived.
The success of that album was as much about people investing in us as people and realizing that a lot of this music was actually cross dialogues to each other.
You know, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks are just tearing apart. You know, they're pulling down the curtains of the bedroom. You know, they're opening the doors wide up. What's really going on in here? You know, all the group's neuroses are laid bare. It's that blend of the British blues sensibility with this almost neurotic and actually absolutely heartfelt lyric writing.
There's a darkness to it where that's been this band's saving grace, you know, where it started, in my mind, with Peter Green, you know. It's accessible and it's sort of pop music, but not.
There was one song on Rumours that wasn't released as a single, but became a showstopper and a kind of anthem for the band. The Chain.
It's ironic because it is a song about keeping together and somehow finding the tools and the vocabulary, you know, to not only do it in the moment, but to keep doing.
I mean, it's like nobody, no matter how bad it got, nobody didn't want to be in the band. Nobody wanted to get out of the band. So it was like, you know, the band was #1 priority. So it's like the relationships did not override the band.